This video shows you how to register an Informatica Big Data domain with Operational Insights. After you register the domain, you can use Operational Insights to monitor domain performance. As part of registering a domain, you configure the collectors that collect operational data and domain-related metadata from the domain, and then upload the data to Informatica Cloud where it's accessed by Operational Insights. The collectors run within the secure agent that enables communication between Operational Insights and the domain. You configure 4 collectors. The Domain Configuration Collector collects configuration metadata for the domain and all domain assets. The Domain Health Statistics Collector gathers availability statistics for domain assets, including nodes and application services. The Domain Resource Usage Statistics Collector collects CPU and memory consumption data for domain nodes. Finally, the Big Data Collector gathers metrics on big data jobs submitted by the data integration service to a Hadoop cluster. After you log into Operational Insights, click Register Domain to launch the registration wizard. Enter the information required to enable Operational Insights to connect to the domain. You can get the information you need from the administrator tool you use to manage the domain. First, find the domain name. Next, find the master gateway node host name and port. When you select 10.2.1 as the domain version, the wizard selects Big Data as the product. Select the secure agent group and the name of the secure agent the domain uses to communicate with Informatica Cloud. Enter the domain security details. Operational Insights must connect to the domain with an administrator account. Click Test Connection to test the connection to the domain. Next, enter details to help users find the domain within Operational Insights. You can use tags to categorize domains. Users can use the tags to search for the domains. You can select a tag, or you can enter your own. Add the geographical location of the domain to the map that is displayed on the Operational Insights homepage. You can add the domain to an existing location or add a new location on the map. Now you configure the collectors. For the Domain Configuration Collector, you can modify the collector schedule. You can also modify the schedule for the Domain Health Statistics Collector. Next, configure the Domain Resource Usage Statistics Collector. You can choose to collect historical resource usage data. If you check the box, data is collected for the previous 30 days by default. Or you can configure the collector to collect up to 60 days of historical data. The collector gathers CPU and memory consumption metrics for domain nodes from the model repository specified in the monitoring configuration for the domain. Enter the properties needed to connect to the model repository. You can find these properties by selecting the model repository service that manages the repository in the administrator tool. Enter all of the required properties, including the JDBC connection string for the database. Click Test Connection to test the connection to the repository database. Finally, configure the Big Data Collector. As with the Domain Resource Usage Statistics Collector, you can choose to collect up to 60 days of historical data. Select the cluster configuration used by the domain to connect to the Hadoop cluster. The Big Data Collector uses the cluster configuration to gather job execution statistics and operational metrics for the cluster. At this point, you can save the domain to Operational Insights. The domain is now registered, and you can begin monitoring it with Operational Insights.